Peace, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to Black Intelligentsia. Today we got an interview with my brother BJ from Chicago. He's from Real Flavor Productions. He had this company for a while now. Peace, he's from Chicago. You should know. Black Intelligentsia. Today we get the feedback. But anyway, if you're from Chicago, you know about him. If not, you're gonna learn about him. So how you doing today, bro?
Man, I'm good, brother Carl. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. It's a pleasure to have you on today. You know, like I said,
Right.
People in Chicago may know about you, but you know, it's a lot of people out here in the world right now trying to get in tune with different people, what they doing and stuff. So could you give the people a little information about who you are and exactly what you do?
Well, what's up, everybody? First and foremost, and the pleasure's all mine. It's an honor. But my name is BJ. Been my nickname since birth. My government name is Brad Allen. That's my first name. My last name Johnson. So that's where the initials BJ come from. But man, I've been fortunate to pursue a career, education first, and the career which is television broadcasting since like the middle '90s, and actually enjoy what I do, love what I do, producing, editing, shooting, writing, and directing and narrating in television throughout my career. So using that skill set, that education experience, like I have worked for all of the major networks and shit, but like as soon as I was a freshman, like '96 is when I started pursuing this. Um, I started my company and doing independent stuff because you could work for a company, but I found it necessary to pursue your independent what do you want to call it, desires, appetite, whatever fuels you as an individual. I felt it necessary to pursue my independence and the brand, because I knew I wanted to expand my company and get my name out there and stuff like that. So it's been gravy doing independent stuff, documentaries, independent movies, music videos, but more importantly, it's always been positive material with my name attached to it. Never been into exploiting anything negative regarding me as a person, my culture. I'm always doing stuff on gun violence, anti-gun violence, and stuff like that. So it's that's what I've been about.
Well, what was your first venture independently? What did you first get into with Real Flavor? Because I know you from the independent video channel and things of that nature. But could you give us exactly what you did first and how you progressed in a chronological timeline a little bit?
Well, yeah, I kicked it off with my my company is called Real Flavor, but the flagship production of that company was what became an award-winning music video show for 10.5 years. It spanned for literally 10.5 years of hour-long weekly music entertainment show in Chicago, and it consisted of a lot of interviews. It put a lot of people on. It was a stepping stone for a lot of artists in Chicago, and it was inspired for my love of hip hop, but it also had people from other genres in the music, other music genres. It had people from other music genres on the show as guests because I didn't discriminate on comedians, stuff like that. I even let them co-host a lot of times because I felt from the beginning it was never about me. So there's viewers out there that love the show, but I put myself in the viewer's shoes from day one, where every viewer might not feel me. So I always surrounded myself with equally talented or people that were aspiring to be just as talented or more. And a lot of people did. A lot of people, like I said, it was a stepping stone for not just the artists, but the people that were involved with the show from a producer standpoint, videographer, and hosting, like BJay standpoint. And some of them are in Hollywood, some of them are, bigger on the comedian comic scene. And so that was my first um, independent thing, and it fueled it opened up a lot more doors, because like the show would come on, I was inspired by hip hop, of course, Rap City, the Mayor Chris Thomas, BET, Rap City, and then Fab Five Freddy and Dr. Dre and Air Lover from Yo MTV Raps, but even Donnie Simpson for BET. But it was like Soul Train, actually Soul Train. I remember as a shorty, every time Soul Train went to commercial, it had black advertisements every commercial break. So I took uh, bits and pieces of what inspired me, what I respected growing up, applied that to Real Flavor. So yes, it was a hip hop show. It was broader than that. It was an entertainment show, and I made sure I practiced and maintained the three tenets of always educating, informing, and entertaining the viewers. But every time it went to commercial, it was a black business, a black commercial. And 9 out of 10 times, my company did the commercial. Fall firms, to car dealerships, to hair salons, barbershops, clothing stores. And that's how I was able to, I was doing a show, but I was also able to establish my other production skills as a production company, not just the company that did the show. So I was able to do that independently. And it complemented me professionally for my employers and vice versa.
Okay, so what you currently doing with your brand? Because I myself, you allowed me to use the video talking about gun violence and stuff. So you more
Yeah.
advocating now, activist with it, or where you currently at with Real Flavor?
Yeah, well, Real Flavor is still going strong. Thankfully, the brand is still out there, is recognized, and you never rest when it comes to constantly positively expanding your brand and making it recognizable and stuff like that. But like in '95, before I started Real Flavor, I had got in trouble before, stuff like that, beat some cases. So after I beat them cases, 95, 96, January 96, I was looking ahead. I was like, man, I'm going to get into TV, and I never looked back. So really 95 is when I started advocating against the stuff that is going on now today when it comes to unnecessary gun violence, shortages out here, just reckless, no rhyme or reason. So move ahead 20 years, still capitalizing on my skill set and my passion for making, providing, shooting vivid imagery and stuff like that, storytelling, but doing that in a way on my own time and speak out against gun violence in a nice, creative, informative, and sometimes provocative manner. And people that I associate myself with, befriend, to help tell the story. Like the one that you just saw that you raved about was one of my friends who I met 3 years ago, who had just come home from doing 20 years for murder. And I met him working for Ceasefire. He did great things for Ceasefire. And I was doing a documentary at the time on gun violence. And I told him, Dean, I'm like, man, you got a great story to tell. Just his personality as a whole, I was like, man, you'd be perfect to work with me on these ad campaigns, these PSAs on talking out against gun violence. And I've done plenty of gun violence PSAs before, but this one that you saw, the most recent one last year, was when I used somebody who had actually walked that walk, and did 20 years for murder and learned the error of their ways. And I'm more than grateful to give back,
Okay, that's good. So let's talk about Chicago and the gun violence that's going on. What do you what's your viewpoint on it? And then if we could get into national headlines a little bit. I know you can't stay that long, but if we could touch on a couple
Oh yeah.
things while you're here, then I appreciate that, and
Yeah,
we can
well,
bounce with the opportunity.
cool. Well, it's always going to be disheartening, whether it was 20 years ago when gun violence in Chicago, the numbers easily topped 900. But, it's always a lot more emphasis presently with the introduction of mainstream media, smartphones, social media, stuff like that. So the stories are scrutinized a whole lot more. So of course, still disheartening to have murders in Chicago top 500. But it's like, man, where was this outrage 20 years ago when it was easily 900 every year, 900 or plus. But it's still crazy. It's like now, at least back in the day, it was more rhyme or reason because you knew when somebody's going to get up with your glamour. Now it's just, I don't like how you smiling, pow. You know, you got the highway shootings, you got the just, it's a whole lot more random now. That saying a bullet don't have a name on it, that's always been a saying, but it really, really is a lot more relative today. It ain't before you colors. Now how to have your hat cocked or not cocked. Now it ain't no identification. It's just random killings, random shootings. A lot of times, person don't even had nothing to do, had no previous contact with the individual. It's just, and then this something else. People, I'm a realist. People in society today, I refute the truth, facts, but I just attribute it all to the devil. It's evil. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't nothing in the water. It ain't the lawmakers. It's just pure evil, and people can get their own. That's man right there. Strip away um, things from our culture, like say like prayer out of the classroom, any type of advantageous foundational thing that we had in place before, but you strip it away, people become more and more lost. You know what I'm saying? Some people could say, oh, well, it was brainwashing to begin with. I'm like, well, whatever, you're still entitled to your opinion. I'm just looking at it from my perspective. So you got all these additional lost folks out here with no foundation, and you move them away from the church. The church is more of a joke now. People don't rely on faith. They don't develop a relationship with whoever their belief is. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be something to do with it. Then the millennial generation, they families, they mamas, grandmamas, are a whole lot younger, whole lot more less in touch with that spiritual side. So, it contributes to a lot more, um, a lot more kids, offspring lost. You know, so that's how I see it.
Okay. What about the shootings and things that been happening nationally? You've been keeping an eye on it. What do you think about
Oh
the
yeah,
phenomenon that's going on right now? Every other week and stuff, it's like another shooting, another headline.
what about? Yeah, yeah. It's equally disheartening because it's like, you know, ever since the federal government cut back on, they ain't just cut back, they just withdrew. Shut down these mental institutions. You got a high percentage of unmedicated, undiagnosed, misdiagnosed people walking around out here. And just because they misdiagnosed and all the other stuff I said, don't mean that they're bad people. Got some chemical imbalances, some mental instabilities and stuff like that. It's going to be a problem, especially if you got access to weapons and you can't manage um, your angers, grievances internally. You have nobody to turn to. You don't have benefits, so you can't go get counseling, consulting, stuff like that. And some people are more provoked than others, and whatever, man. It's just it's it should be preventable, you know. But I'm not in those people's shoes who committed those acts. I just know that the way the society is it's got more breaking points in it for those people that are more likely to be pushed over the edge, not just to the edge, over the edge, like that old school Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Fast song. Don't push me because I'm close to the edge. So it's definitely not helping race relations anymore.
I
Like
agree. Yeah.
definitely not doing that because but for every act that those brothers did, it only fuels the anger more for the side that's been in the closet holding on to praying for this mythical damn race. You know what I'm saying? So you got extremists on both sides. All I know at the end of the day, you got some excellent black folks, you got some excellent white folks, you got some bad white folks, and you got some bad black folks. The people that tied that get into those stereotypes, it's like you can't even talk to me. You've been living under a rock. You just, you an idiot. But I'm just calling it like it is, man.
Yeah. Well, bro, I appreciate it. I don't want to hold you too long and stuff. I'm honored once again to get this from you and everything. I love to bring you back, but I wanted to get something in with you, man, because I want my audience to, meet more people, realize that it's other people out here in the struggle, fighting and doing what they can in whatever artistic way. And hopefully people check you out on all your networks. So here's your opportunity to let people know how to follow you, how to get in touch with you, and things of that nature.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate it. I'm again Brad Allen, and then on several different YouTube channels, Real Flavor Productions, Brad Allen Johnson, and Real Flavor 99 get all not all, but it's got several archival Real Flavor clips from the Real Flavor show that was on for 10.5 years. And I'm always putting out new content when it comes to speak shit, but doing it in a intellectual, relatable way, you know. And yeah, that's it.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna let you get back to your productive day. Hopefully, it stay productive, and I appreciate you coming over once again, giving the audience someone else to look at, someone else to focus in on, because I believe that we need a plethora of different people out here nowadays using a voice in a positive manner. So
Yeah, most definitely. I appreciate it.
thank you for being positive, and thank you for the interview once again. I'll holler back. Hopefully we can bring you back and we can have a more extensive conversation,
All right. No doubt. I look forward to it.
All right, peace. Peace, y'all.